Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. I was too busy working on my Chapter 7 Cognition video project. My first key concept is going to be thinking. Thinking is a mental activity that occurs when one attempts to organize and understand something. There are two types of thinking. There's convergent and divergent. Convergent is when a problem only has one answer and all lines of thinking will end with that answer. Divergent is completely the opposite, where every line of thinking ends with a different answer. An example of convergent thinking would be using 3 trails to get on top of one hill. This would demonstrate convergent thinking because you have 3 options, A, B, and C, and all of them are going to lead to the same point, which would be, say, the top of the hill. In this situation, there are 3 possible solutions to overcome one obstacle. When we think, we begin to categorize information. In an attempt to understand something new, our brain will start to categorize it to help relate it to something that we already understand. Once we start categorizing them, we'll insert them into concepts. Concepts are ideas that represent a class or category of objects. 3 levels of concepts are superordinate, which would be broad, such as animal. Preferred, which is the basic level, would be like dogs. And then subordinate, which would be specific, like a chow. Furthermore, into concepts. Concepts have 2 different categories. There's the formal. They have very strict definitions by specific rules or features. An example would be a square. It needs 4 equal length sides with 90-degree angles to be in the concept of a square. There's natural. Results of one's experiences in life. Example would be, say, like, someone asks you what's a vehicle. Depending on your experience with life, you would say different things like, a truck or a bobsled, depending on where you live. Concepts help us put objects into categories to help relate them to objects we're already familiar with to help understand them. My second key concept is going to be intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to understand and relate to each other. Intelligence can be defined by our environment. Say your environment's going to be in the city, your IQ can be determined by your school level. A person's IQ is determined by an intelligence test, which consists of a series of tasks designed to measure the capacity to make abstractions, to learn, and to deal with novel situations. Here's a quick example of some questions that you would see on an intelligence test. There are many different types of intelligences. This is going to be fluid intelligence. Fluid intelligence reflects information, processing capabilities, reasoning, and memory. This is a general type of intelligence, how you remember numbers, solve a math problem, and just different things like that. Fluid intelligence is going to mostly decrease with your age. The second intelligence is crystallized intelligence. It's the accumulation of information, skills, and strategies that are learned from experience and can be applied in problem-solving situations. This relies on long-term memory. It's a reflection of your culture and as well as your experiences and knowledge. While fluid intelligence involves our current ability to reason and deal with complex information around us, crystallized intelligence involves learning, knowledge, and skills that are acquired over a lifetime. Both types of intelligence are equally important in everyday life. For example, when taking a psychology exam, you might need to rely on fluid intelligence to come up with a strategy to solve a statistics problem, while you must also employ crystallized intelligence to recall the exact formulas you need to use. My third key concept is mental retardation, which is a condition characterized by significant limitation in intellectual function, conceptual, social, and practical adaptive skill. There are 3 levels of mental retardation. Moderate, which has an IQ of 40 to 54. They can have simple jobs, but they need supervision in life. Severe, which has an IQ of 25 to 39, and profoundly with an IQ less than 25. There are many causes of mental retardation, such as fetal alcohol syndrome, complications during birth, and abnormalities in the structure of a chromosome. These are only a few of them known today, and there are many more than these. This is going to be a short video showing you real people with Down syndrome and how they live and deal with it in their everyday life.
Emma Marie, and I'm 23 years old.
I'm 13 years old, and I'm Hannah Lorraine Hobart.
My name's Ann. I'm 55.
Let me give you some snuggles. Yeah, I know. I work at the California Academy of Science. It's near Golden Gates Park. I do the tickets.
I used to work in the law firm. It's called Hanson and Bridget. I was there for 17 years.
I've been on the estrogen when I grew up.
I live with independent people in the house.
I was hoping to work in a pediatric hospital. I want to do inpatient care because I really do care about the health of kids.
Logan was actually born 5 weeks early, and when he was born, we were told the night after he was born that he was showing soft signs, and my husband Roger and I did not know what that meant. When we were told, the doctor that told us was in tears, and I was actually glad that my son was going to live and that he was going to be okay.
During our first year, we also learned that James had an intestinal issue, which he had to have surgery a week after he had open heart surgery.
I really think, though, that I was in denial for a long time. It took me quite a few months to really realize that Logan truly, he's meeting his milestones a little later.
Being a new mother is tough enough, but having a child who has a different diagnosis than many other children makes it a lot harder to connect with people sometimes.
But it's just been such an amazing year with him.
Jennifer, she's looking nice. She's looking beautiful, lady. I like a big couple.
We are a long time.
About 6 years.
6 years.
We are engaged. I just bought the ring. It costs $40.
He kind, he loving, right? He's my favorite, always in my heart. Like, he want to marry me someday, so I have to wait.
The thing about my mom is that she always brings out the best smiles. And she always says, I'll go shopping with you. I will go out lunch with you. I love being with you. Also, everything that I know about my mom was so beautiful and pretty to me.
You're
killing me. We're really proud of you.
Yeah.
Dad was saying, I think she's going in for the inside shot. That's what he was saying. I showed her. He said, I taught her that move. That's what Dad was saying.